happy to welcome Nicky Goren.
Wow. So when I was an ambitious 22-year-old during my first year of law school, I received a letter from my father with some very memorable advice. My dad advised me that at my age, quote, my biological clock was ticking, and I had better stop wasting my time on men unsuitable for marriage. The letter had absolutely no advice at that time about my career. What he hadn't considered is that at that time, I was not remotely interested in marriage. I also had no aspirations at that time to be a parent. Frankly, I found my biological clock to be completely irrelevant. I suspect this was in part because just a few years earlier, when I was 16 years old, my mother had passed away suddenly after a 3-month fight with leukemia. Sorry. During that brief time, I came to understand her regrets, the regrets she had about her life, her early marriage, having kids so young, giving up a chance at a career to be a stay-at-home mom, not having any say or control from her perspective on her life or her choices. She had spent the last 7 years of her life working part-time towards a PhD. It would ultimately be awarded posthumously. That was to pave the way for her career once my sister and I were older and out of the house. When she got out of the hospital, she said things were going to change. She was going to make sure everything changed. She was 39. I think I internalized from that experience that life is short, that I needed to define for myself what my life satisfaction would be, and that I should not allow myself to be sidetracked by other people's expectations of me. And so because of that, my father's unsolicited advice fell on deaf ears. In spite of his advice, I continued to forge my own path. I was well on my way to my career by the time I eventually decided to get married to my wonderful husband, Andy, who is right there, and later have children who are not here, they're in school. I'm glad that I listened to my gut, and I have absolutely no regrets. So my pearl of wisdom, and really how I've lived my life, is that sometimes unsolicited advice is just that. Only you know what motivates and fulfills you, and don't let anyone else persuade you otherwise. This is really from my mother, and I think she would agree. Thank you.